Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have an unscheduled video for you today. I wasn't expecting to post this, but I just received the Abominable book box from the UK. I did purchase this box myself. They didn't send it to me, but I was absolutely amazed with how quickly it arrived here to Canada. So I wanted to open it right away and share it with all of you guys. So if you've never heard of them before, the Abominable book box is a UK-based spooky bookish subscription service where every month subscribers can receive one of two tiers of book services. The first tier is the bare bones box where subscribers will get the books only, and the second tier is the full guts box, which you get the 2 books plus an additional magazine or downloadable ebook, as well as some treats like cookies or other sort of snacks that you would eat while you were reading, and a selection of hot beverages, which I think is really cool. I learned about this box through watching Merce over on Harpies in the Trees. I will link her channel down below. She has a fantastic aesthetic and her tastes are very similar to my own, so please go check out Merce at Harpies in the Trees. The reason why I wanted to give this box a try was not only because I'd like to get a new release horror book, but also because this box contains a used book. So a lot of the time it'll be vintage horror that are first printings or early printings, and vintage horror with the original covers, which, like I've said in previous videos, is something that I'm really into. Not only do I like used books for just the general aesthetic, but I find that they really have an energy of their own, and finding a subscription service that really appreciates used books was right up my alley. The other reason that I really wanted to try out the subscription service was because it's not full of a whole lot of knickknacks. I live pretty minimally and I don't like to have a whole lot of clutter, so a lot of subscription services that I've seen out there, you know, you don't really get a whole lot besides the books that I would really enjoy, and that's just a personal thing. But with this, you get your books and the other treats are consumable, so you're not really left over with anything in the end. So I really enjoyed that aspect. So those are the reasons why I wanted to try these guys out, but the reason why I really fell in love with them even before I got my box was because I had sent them an email even before I had received my first order, and their customer service is absolutely fantastic. They got back to me really quickly with the answers to all my questions and actually went the extra mile to make sure that I was satisfied and that everything was absolutely perfect. So a big thank you to Abominable for being so fantastic. Before I go ahead and open the box, please make sure you hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my spooky uploads. So without further ado, I am going to go ahead and open up our very first Abominable book box. So when I'm opening the box, this is what I'm seeing on the inside. So first we have, it looks like some beer nuts. So these are Mr. Filbert's Really Interesting Snacks. And they are citrus pale ale beer nuts, hauntingly good berry nuts. So this is great because my husband actually makes his own beer, and I believe he has a pale ale right now, so I'm gonna leave these for him. I think he's really going to enjoy those. And next we have this little striped package. It's a very Beetlejuice looking package with a sticker on the front of some teeth. So in here we have a selection of hot beverages. So it looks like something actually got punctured because everything, I believe, is covered in some hot cocoa here, hot chocolate. But we have some mint tea and a raspberry pomegranate tea. So that's our first items. 2 flavored coffees. So these are Beanies flavored coffees. So we have a very vanilla and a cookie dough. So these are just single serve little coffee packets, which I think is great. I don't drink a whole lot of caffeine personally. I know it's disappointment water, but medically I have to actually not drink a lot of caffeine. But sometimes I do partake in a caffeinated beverage on the weekends. So those will be great to have on a Saturday morning when I'm reading a book. So we have a Clipper Naturally Fair and Delicious Hot Chocolate. So I'll just hold this up carefully. So that's great. So we have a couple of hot beverages that we can have while we're reading our books. Just unfortunately, I've kind of gotten everything everywhere here now, but that's okay. So after a quick cleanup, let's see what else is in the rest of the box here. So right on top, We have our used books with a couple of bookmarks. So you always get an Abominable Book Club bookmark, and on the back there is some microfiction, and this is written by Owen Morgan, who is one of the owners of Abominable Book Box, which I think is really fantastic. And we have a second bookmark here, and this has Abominable Book Club with the logo of the Accursed Library down here. So their used book section that they have, they call it the Accursed Library, which is really great. And on the back here it says TBR, they've waited long enough, with a little bit of an ominous image on here. So that's really, really great. I know my TBR is really getting ridiculously long and I have to get to some of these books. So I'm gonna actually save the used book till last because I think that's just the most amazing surprise. So our new release is A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill. And on the top here, it says, I loved it and I think you will too, by Stephen King. So I mean, if you've got a little quote from Stephen King on your own book, you know it's probably gotta be good. So I'll just read you the synopsis from the back here. Noah Turner's family is haunted by monsters that are all too real. His bookish mother Margaret, Lovecraft-loving father Harry, and sisters Sydney, born for the spotlight, and the brilliant but awkward Eunice, a natural writer and storyteller, all must face the demons alone. As Harry becomes obsessed with the construction of an elaborate haunted house, the Wandering Dark, the family tries to shield baby Noah from the precarious finances, the gruesome tricks of the show, and the darkness that hangs over the family home. Carrying the legacy of the Wandering Dark, the family risks falling apart in the face of poverty and sickness, and the real monsters grow ever closer. Because unbeknownst to them, Noah is visited by a wolfish beast with glowing orange eyes. Noah is not the first of the Turners to meet the monster, but he is the first to let it into their home. So that sounds absolutely amazing. Again, that's A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill. And I have heard some good things about this book, so I'm glad to have this added to my collection. So the last couple of items in the box, we have a spoiler card, so we'll just leave that to the side and check it out once we're done. And the other item is a horror magazine called Hellebore. So this is a very, very well printed little magazine, and just the imagery in here is absolutely gorgeous. I've never actually read this magazine, but it looks spectacular. And in my adult grown-up job, I work a lot with graphics and printing, and this looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm glad to sit down and read this with a nice cup of tea. And the moment I've been waiting for, and you guys have probably been waiting for, our used book. So each used book is wrapped up in some brown paper, and we've got some lovely blood spatters on here. And down in the corner, or maybe this is the top corner, we have the Accursed Library logo in a wax stamp. So the thing I love about this aspect is everyone is going to get something different. I know that when Merce opened her box, she got a fantastic book, and I'm hoping that I'm going to as well. So excited. And here we have Possession by Peter James, and this book is in absolutely great condition. You can tell there's a lot of weathering at the ends here, at the edges, but the covers are very, very well intact. So let's just see what year it was printed. Oh wow! We have an autographed copy. It says, read only in daylight or with a good friend. Wow, that is absolutely unbelievable. I'm so excited. So this was originally printed in 1988. And just taking a look at the back here, it says literate, intelligent, and creepy from book list. Okay, so just reading from the back, it says Fabian Hightower was killed in a car crash. That's what the police told his mother. She didn't believe them. She'd seen him that morning. Fabian, the police insist, is dead. But Alex's imagination keeps playing painful tricks on her. It haunts her days, it breaks her nights, and now it is turning her grief into terror. It drives her in desperation to a medium, and it freezes the medium into petrified silence. Because it isn't her imagination, it's Fabian, and he wants to come back. So there's just a glimpse at the back of the book as well. So it looks like we've got some great little reviews on here. I am so excited to have this book to add to my collection. I've never actually heard of this one. If you've read this book, please leave me a note down below and let me know what you thought. Okay, let's take a look at our spoiler card and make sure we got everything. So this box is from September of 2020. So we've got a signed copy of A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill, the Hellebore magazine #2, the Wild Gods issue, a hand-wrapped book courtesy of the Accursed Library, Spookmark Series 2, number 9, Crystal Lake Catch by Owen Morgan, so that's our bookmark with the microfiction, Adnam's Ghost Ship Beer Peanuts, People to Kill pin badge. I did take a look back through our stuff and we definitely didn't get a pin, but that's totally okay. If you did get this box, make sure you check and make sure you have a pin. We also got the TBR Premium Bookmark designed by Owen Morgan. So that was the Abominable book box for September of 2020. I really enjoyed this box. Big shout out to Abominable for putting together such an amazing product. If you want to see more spooky videos, make sure you hit the like button below and comment. It really helps out the channel. Let me know what's on your spooky TBR. Do you think you'll order from Abominable? Let me know down in the comments. But until next time, guys, stay spooky. Bye.